Hey, what's going on, guys? Sugar Pikin once again. The night before the new season will launch. The new season will launch tomorrow, and Arc 3.0 will come to the game, which I am heavily excited for. Sadly, I won't be able to play properly right off the bat due to the classes that I have for most of the day, but expect a decent amount of videos in the future and streams in the future covering the new season and some of the new weapons and stuff like that. Today is the day that, I just decided let's do what some other Destiny YouTubers have done. Quickly, recap over some of the Arc armor exotics and maybe the weapons that could be really, really good coming this season. I'm going to quickly get my Golden Days ornament done. Boop. So, of course, before I get into this, like if you enjoy and you found this helpful. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell, stay notified so you don't miss out on any future uploads. So, starting with the Hunter, of course, because I main the ever living crap out of Hunter, I'll quickly go over some normal Arc exotics. So there might be some that might be just good overall. I'll quickly look at also just Arc in general, whether they'll be good or not. So I'll start with Blight Ranger. I'm personally not going to use Blight Ranger, but for PvE, who knows? It might be decent with all the extra Arc stuff, but it's not really that great now. Very niche, and you know, it affects the Arc Staff Super. So if it's not that good right now, nothing much is really changing with the Arc Staff Super. So if it's not really good right now, it probably won't be amazing later. I mean, you do get more orbs of power generated for your allies for blocking. So if you are using the arc staff, it could be decent. But this, if it does become good, it would only be good in PvE, not PvP. Over here with Shinobu's Vow, I'm kind of sick of using skip grenades. I would rather use a different grenade on the arc subclass than this, but I do have to acknowledge skip grenades are really good. They're just not really my playstyle. They're just fun to meme around with for me occasionally. Shinobu's Vow will obviously be good, and what it does is it makes skip grenades better, and you get another skip grenade. Skip grenades return energy when damaging enemies. So with the new arc, I think it's Fragment that makes enemies get jolted by your arc grenades. This could be really, really good because you have another grenade charge to jolt enemies. Could be really good in PvE and PvP, especially considering Hunter's whole gimmick, mainly is jolting. So, highly recommend this. It's just, I probably won't be using this super heavily unless if it's maybe an in-game PvE build or I just want to mess around with skip grenades in PvP. But if it fits your playstyle or just want to use what will probably be one of the best things to use with Arc 3.0 exotic wise, then by all means use this. Liar's Handshake. I know my friend Michael will be using it a lot, also known as Hyper Silvas on Twitch. He loves melee arc hunter. What Liar's Handshake does is using your arc ability or being hit by a melee attack will allow you to follow up with an extremely powerful melee counterpunch that will heal you. So, this will be really niche in PvP, but PvE, this will probably be one of the best builds, one of the best exotics to have for one of the best builds for PvE Arc Hunter. So I highly recommend if you have this, pull it out. Raiden Flux, as always, it's good for PvE Arc Strider. It'll remain good. Quick successive attacks with Arc Staff increases the damage up and duration. So obviously that will just be as it always is. This is the one that I'm really looking forward to messing with in PvP. Lucky Raspberry. It ups Arc Bolt grenades. And I actually have a decent stat rolled one. It increases the chaining capabilities of arc bolt grenades and has a chance to recharge at each time it deals damage. A full chain always recharges. So that would be interesting in PvP for me to go around and see if I can get the chains and get my energy refunded. So yeah, that's probably what I'll be messing around with first thing for PvP. Bombardiers could be good for its blinding effect overall. Could be really annoying in PvP, and PvE could be pretty good for like stunning enemies. Frosties is not arc, but sprinting, gives synergy to all your abilities, so that's overall good. Foe Tracer and Knucklehead Radar might be really good because Foe Tracer, I like Foe Tracer, um, because it marks enemies and it buffs damage to low health marks. It's really off meta, same, and Knucklehead Radar is even more off meta. But considering Blink is coming back to Hunter and your radar gets ripped away for a little bit when you blink, Knucklehead Radar could be nice to the same downside so you get that radar back. And Foe Tracer, you hit an enemy, you mark them, so you can still see them even if you don't have your radar. So those are a few Hunter exotics that could be really good that are either just made for Arc or just would be pretty nice to use with the Arc subclass in my personal opinion. Moving on to Titan, Syntheseps is always a good option. Right here, Eternal Warrior, this thing in my opinion is a buff, but it is an arc thing, gaining overshield while activating Festa Havoc. So if you just want to be a tanky Festa Havoc player, you can go ahead and use that. ACD feedback fence, that charges and charges out, sends out arc electricity when you're meleeed. Pretty freaking cool there. Melee hits restore explosive defensive energy. That is an option. Other options, Armamentarium, just giving you another grenade so you can do even more grenade stuff. Peregrine Greaves might work. Bonus damage of airborne shoulder charge, and I'm pretty sure you get a shield off of it. Right? All shoulder charge abilities deal bonus damage when activating the air, provides a small benefit to airborne... No, it doesn't. Okay, well, it could still be nice for Seismic Strike. Dune Marchers, of course. Chain arc melee damage. Heart of Inmost Light to buff your abilities like your grenades. That's always a good option. And Tejas Wards could be pretty good because Titans will be getting a lot more mobility. People, the arc subclasses in general when amplified, so you can already slide better, so you can use Tejas Wards to slide and reflect projectiles. That is an option. And also, this one is probably what I fill around with in PvE. Not PvE, PvP for Titan. Maybe even PvE. Insurmountable Skull for it, which has Transfusion Matrix, kills with arc melee abilities, trigger health regen, and restores melee energy. For specifically going on a rampage with Thunderclap, one-shotting people with this thing. So those are the exotics off the top of my head. Of course, that I think would be really good for Titan Arc 3.0. Of course, so the typical stuff. One-Eyed Mask would be good, just because it's overall use for whatever exotic. Same thing with Wormhusk on Hunter. On Warlock, right here, we have this would not be good on Arc Warlock, but it would be good on a Void Warlock because Void Warlock is already getting a buff to blink. Like they're getting a buff to blink with the new season. So actually, Verse will just make that even better. Having extra melee with Colossal Himkara could be good for Arc. Getaway Artists already upgrades your Arc Soul by, you convert your Arc Grenade into an Arc Soul that fires fast. Warlocks are getting the ability to have, when their Arc Souls are amplified, they fire faster. So you could get 2 Arc Souls out, and also this with the normal Rift Arc Soul, it buffs it, so it'll buff it even more to fire even more, possibly. So this could be really good for either PvE or PvP. Necrotic Grips would be possibly good in PvE because it just causes melee damage over time, and that plus the jolting could be really cool. A lot of ad clear. I have another world just for recharging abilities, Fast Severity's Brow, if you want, to up the damage of your arc grenade. Vesper Radius, I probably would not see much play, but it is an arc-related exotic, and, today we're talking about arc-related exotics and exotics that could benefit off of Arc 3.0. So, Rift release an Arc Shockwave when cast. Rift energy recharges faster when you're surrounded by enemies. So if you want, some weird Rift build for PvE, Vesper Radius might be good. That is always an option. Storm Dancers, Brace There is already a decent PvE build for this, so it would just get better with Arc 3.0. It states each time you defeat a target with Storm Trance, it increases the damage you deal with Storm Trance and refunds super energy when Storm Trance ends. So if you want to spam Storm Trance, that is an option. Chromatic Fire is just good in general. Mantle of Battle Harmony would be pretty freaking good with Arc weapons as normal because it's matching subclass to the weapon that you're using. The extra bonus damage. Geomag Stabilizers is just what it is, damaging targets with Chaos Reach extends its duration, but Chaos Reach is an Arc super, so Geomags will be good as always if you plan on running Chaos Reach. And this is the one I held off on because I think this will be the best overall Arc Warlock exotic. Crown of Tempests. It has conduction times, Arc ability kills, increase the recharge rate of your Arc abilities, and extends the duration of Storm Trance. So your Storm Trance lasts longer if you run Storm Trance, and kills with Arc abilities recharge your Arc abilities. That would be good both in PvP and really freaking good in PvE. If you don't have this exotic, try to get this exotic as soon as possible when the season starts. You won't regret if you get it. And also, if you do have one, just chill in the vault with a good roll, or even if you don't, you just have this in your collection, whip it out if you are planning on running a Warlock and mess around with the new Arc stuff. I highly recommend it. I might as well go over some Arc weapons that would be pretty freaking good. Bad Juju would be good if you want to, spam your super, as always. So you can easily use that. No Time to Explain would be good with the Warlock because that's double Arc buddies. These aren't Arc weapons, but there's stuff that could work well with the subclasses. But here we are with the Arc weapons here that will be really good to pair with Arc 3.0. Cold Heart. It's an Arc weapon. It's a linear fusion that shoots a cold fusion powered laser that gets more powerful over time. Trinity Ghoul is a great bow that's already good, really good at ad clearing, but the fact that it's Arc, you can combine it with the Fragment that enemies that die with precision damage from Arc weapons explode, blinding other targets. It has the perk Split Electron, which fires an arrow that splits when released, aiming down sights and fully joining the foe decreases the spread. And Lightning Rod, precision kills, grant the next shot chain lightning capabilities. But, I highly recommend the Catalyst for Trinity Ghoul. It makes the weapon way better, which basically allows Lightning Rod to trigger from any Arc damage final blow, so you can constantly get the Arc chain capabilities of Trinity Ghoul just by getting killed with your grenade or your melee. This is a must-have, in my opinion, for PvE Arc content. For PvE or PvP, Risk Runner, really good. You're probably going to see a lot of Risk Runners in PvP for a while. It has Arc Conductor. When taking Arc damage, this weapon becomes more powerful and resists incoming Arc damage. Kills extend the time of the overcharged state. This thing can chain lightning, gives you an overshield that resists a lot of Arc damage, and just does overall more damage just by getting hit with an Arc ability, which guess what? Next season will be Season of the Arc. And also it will return ammo. Because Superconductor, when Arc Conductor is active, shots fired have a chance to become Chain Lightning and return ammo. So this thing will be a menace in PvP. Bungie knows it. They straight up basically said, we know Risk Runner will be an issue, but, if the community wants us to nerf it later, we'll nerf it. If the community is fine with it being broken, then we won't nerf it. Risk Runner, definitely whip that thing out if you have it, which you should have it because I'm pretty sure you get it now right off the bat by just completing your first couple missions in the entire game. Divinity has always been good for PvE, so Arc and it's Arc. It's mainly just because it's Arc that you might want to pair it. Same thing with Cloud Strike. The Edrica Current Hunter, Glaive for chaining lightning, and its Arc. Trespasser, good exotic sidearm, and its Arc. And, its exotic perk allows it to do more damage. Its Catalyst increases its target acquisition, aim down sight speed if you reload after defeating a target. Overall, Arc exotics will be good in general. Darcy might be decent. Legend of Acarius will be getting 1-2 punch. No, not 1-2 punch. It'll be getting Trench Barrel and its arc, and shotguns are getting Unstoppable Shotgun. This thing is going to be freaking great, especially if you have the Catalyst. Thunderlord will be pretty good in general for PvE, for that Chain Lightning. Queenbreaker's arc, but Queenbreaker has received a heavy nerf a long time ago and has not gotten buffed since, so I think that would be a pass there. Grand Overture would probably still be good because it's not that terrible of a machine gun, plus, its arc. So that was. Oh, yeah, also, Anarchy. Anarchy might see a return since it is arc, and Anarchy is a really nice PvE exotic. So that was just my thoughts on possible exotic weapons and armor that could pair really well with Arc 3.0, which is coming out tomorrow. Just a quick little rundown. Hope you all enjoyed. Catch you all on the next one. Have a great rest of your night. Bye-bye.